Hi, this is David Scott with one of my vlogs. It's been a while since I did one. It's been a really busy month, so anyway, got no excuses. Just been really busy. So yeah, so certain things happen in our life that sometimes are not planned on, and sometimes are a little difficult, or they could have been a lot worse, or whatever. But a few things I've learned in my life that come in really handy. One of them goes way back to hunting days, and I'm sorry for anybody who doesn't like hunting and so forth. I haven't done it much in quite a while, but back in my younger days, I did it to feed my family and so forth. And so anyway, I found that I wasn't a very good shooter, and I had to learn, really learn how to shoot and how to use those sights on the gun, to make sure that you're doing it really well and everything like that. And so, so I got pretty good at it. Then one day, my friends took me out duck hunting, and the duck might be 15 yards in front of you, might be 40 yards out there, and it might be heading in, it might be heading straight away. There's so many variables, and and you look down the sights of the gun, and you gotta lead it. How much do you lead it, and how much do you don't lead it, and all this kind of stuff comes into play. And I found that when I'm using the sights of the gun, that it was worthless. It just didn't do me any good whatsoever. So what I started doing was I started just turning my head and just using my something instinctive skills, and started being pretty good at it. And so the lesson that I learned there is that sometimes the things that are made by man, the sights on the gun and so forth, sometimes those things just don't really come in handy when the time is right. And that actually really became the case quite a while back, maybe 6 months ago or so, when I'm driving a school bus, and I come up to an intersection where there's a red light on the intersection. Both highways that cross each other have 45-mile-an-hour speed limits, and and I got a couple kids on the bus, and the light's red. I wait for the light to turn. Light turns green, and I start to hit the gas, but something inside me said, "Take another look." Take another look. So I took another look to the left, and here comes this tractor trailer, not paying attention. He's got his eyes down on his phone, and he went right through the red light. And I mean, like after the light was red for 5 seconds, went through the red light, and I slammed on the brakes, and he just went right past us. And I thought, now, if I hadn't been looking, what would have happened? It would have been disastrous. So I've learned that just because man made up the rule, he said, here's the light. When it's green, you go. When it's red, you stop. Well, not everybody's going to be paying attention to the rules, as the truck driver wasn't. And if I had been just going green regardless, I would have been dead. The kids would have been dead. So the point here is that we really need to open up our mind and our heart and our soul to things that maybe God wants to show us, that man's way isn't always the right way. If God says to don't murder somebody, then don't murder them. His way is the right way. But sometimes man's ways don't really lead us the right way. Sometimes we just follow these rules and so forth, and we might hit, it might hit a situation where it just doesn't work. We need to open ourselves up to God and find out, what are you saying? And help me to learn more. Help me to be more receptive to what you're saying and how you're leading me. And what I've also learned is that when you don't really know what's being said, or you don't hear anything, always err on the side of love. It's always much better than erring on the side of some rule or some law or something of that nature. So that's my encouragement to you today, is open up to God, because he can lead you, he can help you, and he can save your life and the lives of other people around you. So it's not going to save the life of the duck once I figured out how to do that, but that's at least he was a good eating, made a good meal for us. Okay, all right. See you later. Bye.